Hey everybody, happy Wednesday evening live tutorial stream. How's everybody doing out there the week before Christmas? Yes, it is in fact the week before Christmas. I had that terrifying realization on Sunday. It was not fun for me. I did not enjoy it. I am not a fan of realizing the way that time actually works. But yeah, so Christmas is a week from Saturday. So a couple of announcements real quick before I start the tutorial. I'm probably going to do these again on the sales stream, but so we are going to be unboxing our shaker and spoon box tomorrow after the tutorial stream. That's going to be around 7:30 Central Time. So if you want to see what came in our cocktail box of awesomeness, that's going to happen tomorrow evening. Next week we are going to be dark on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. That means Friday and Saturday we are not going to be streaming, but we will be streaming as normal Wednesday and Thursday of next week. So let's go ahead and talk about this evening's stream. We are doing, per request of one of our students, our wire filigree earrings. So this is a fun one that you can put together either with the long side on the top or the long side on the bottom, as you can see by the project photo. I did not actually do that on purpose, make those earrings asymmetrical. That was completely an accident, but it's a really nice illustration of the multiple ways that you can put this project together. So let's talk about what you're going to need tools and supplies wise for this evening's tutorial. You are going to need some 16 gauge wire. You could also do 18 gauge if you wanted to make a slightly more dainty version of this earring. You're going to need some 26 gauge wire. You're going to need beads. You're going to need 2 center drilled beads. That's what's gonna go. Oh dear, my earrings are inseparable. So yeah, so center drill beads for that position, top drill beads for that position, and 2 of each. So I've got some moonstones and some labradorites. Since I'm using silver wire this evening, I thought that would go rather well. Of course, since we are making earrings, we're going to need a pair of ear wires. And as far as supplies go, that should be it. As far as tools go, you're going to need your 3 basic wire wrapping tools. That's going to be your round nose pliers, your chain nose pliers. Yes, this is a really crappy pair of chain nose. It's what I happened to grab. And your wire cutters. And then you're also going to need a hammer, chasing hammer preferably, but household hammer if that's all that you have, and a bench block. And hey, look, there's my camera and all my lights. There's the ceiling of the store, and hey, there's me. That's a really shiny bench block. So it really is. So anyway, and also since it is the season, I recommend some eggnog near at hand as well. Also, since this is pretty much the first real meal I've gotten to eat today.
Eat your eggnog.
I am definitely eating my eggnog very fast. Like I said, I may eat all my eggnog up before we get to the drinking stream.
Do I need to go get us eggnog, or?
No, I definitely, if I drink this whole carton of eggnog, I will have consumed basically twice my recommended daily intake of calories. So at that point, I think I should just switch to straight liquor.
Fair dues.
I mean, can anyone out there fault my logic?
No.
Alright, so I'm going to start by cutting my chocolatinis. Yum. Those were so good. They really were.
Yes.
Very tasty. So theoretically, our shaker and spoon box is supposed to be about gin and sparkling wine. So I'm very excited. Those are 2 things that both Heather and I enjoy quite a lot. We'll see tomorrow what's all in our box of awesomeness. Okay, but I'm making earrings now.
You are.
I'm not talking about our cocktail box that's sitting right there.
Taunting you?
Taunting me. Because I can't unbox it till tomorrow night. I'm going to make earrings instead.
Gonna go you. Work out your feelings in earrings.
You're right, there's hammering involved. So,
yes.
we're going to start with cutting our 16 gauge wire. And I'm going to cut for this earring, and you can really play with this depending on what size of earring you want to make, like how massive, how big ass you want your earrings to be, and that's going to determine how much wire you cut. So for the larger piece, if you want your earring to be approximately the same size as my sample, you're going to cut about 4 inches for the larger piece and about 3 inches for the smaller piece. So 2 4-inch pieces, 2 3-inch pieces of your 16 gauge wire. Alright, 2 4-inch pieces and 2 3-inch pieces. So yeah, it was a good day here at the Beading Dreams. We got to see some of our favorite people. Some of them brought us fudge. I will have to say that again on the sales stream because the person who brought us fudge is, I'm pretty sure, still in the car on the way home. And also, oh, I have to show the, which I'll show on the sales stream, the awesome wood-turned bowl.
Oh, goodness.
That one of our clients, that I ordered from one of our clients who is a turner for my stepmom, which I actually then forgot that I ordered it for my stepmom, so I got her something else for Christmas. But it works out great because her birthday's in January, so it's going to be her birthday present. Super excited that I don't have to think about her birthday present. All I have to do is put it somewhere and remember where I put it.
Oh, you may not want to show it on the sales stream because you might be showing it to her.
Oh, crap. Well,
do you want me to bring it to you?
I want to show it to more people, but yes, please. Okay. Yeah. Heather makes a good point of it's for my stepmom and she's usually on the sales stream, so I probably shouldn't show it then. So, you small group of, curated viewers are going to get to see the prettiness. Look at this awesome bowl.
It's so pretty.
Vase. It's a vase, not a bowl. Look how pretty it is. It's so pretty. So it is, Paddock, pecan wood, purple heart, and yellow heartwood. And one of our clients is a wood turner, and so I ordered this probably this summer and then forgot about it, but I'm super happy with it. It's so pretty. And one of the really cool things is he engraves on the bottom actually what all the woods are. Probably because I'm sure he got sick at shows of being asked, what wood is this? Pick it up and look at the bottom and it will tell you. But yes, super happy with this. So this is going to be Denise's birthday present, since I already got her, thank you Heather, a Christmas present. And it's always exciting when I plan ahead and then I forget that I planned ahead, and then I do things at the last minute, and then things I planned ahead come to fruition, and oh well, thankfully there's always more gift-giving holidays. So let's talk earrings. I'm gonna take my pieces of 16 gauge wire, and I'm gonna start with the longer ones. I'm gonna start with the 4-inch ones, and I'm just gonna measure and find the middle. I'm not gonna mark it with a marker or anything. I'm just gonna mark it with my finger. And I'm gonna, so this long piece is gonna start with this kind of, gabled shape on the top. So the way we make that is we're gonna start with a bend in the middle of the wire. So I'm gonna take my chain nose pliers and I'm just gonna push my wire so that I make essentially a 90-degree angle. It's a little bit bigger than 90 degrees, but not much. So that's what I'm gonna start with for this design. Now I'm gonna measure down on either side, and I'm gonna do about 1/4 of an inch on either side, and it'll probably benefit me in this instance to locate a marker and actually mark this. Also behoove me not to have my drawers so full of crap that I can't open them. Like literally, ha! I did it. Yay! There's a marker. Haha! It's the Sharpie that I had a dream about.
Oh no.
little freaky. Oh, hey, can I have one of your little bottles?
Oh, yeah.
So speaking of ridiculous dreams that I had, Heather made these really cool things, and she sent me a text of them before I went to bed. And so these are little potion bottles, and they're kind of like little calm down bottles as well. So they've got the mica powder in them, and then you shake them, and they get all like metallic-y and cool, and then the mica powder will settle back down, and they'll get all kind of transparent again. So super, super fun. And really awesome. But so then I had this very weird dream, and she made them in all these cool colors. Look at all the fun colors.
I'm so excited about them.
Do these all have homes, or can I put these on the stream tonight?
No, put it on the stream. Why
Okay,
not?
so if anybody wants a potion bottle, those will be on the stream tonight. I'm gonna put them here now.
Okay.
But I had this weird ass dream where Heather was making these little potion bottles, and she was making them in like whiskey bottles that were like this big, and she was making them from bone broth and beer.
Yeah. That sounds just like me.
And I was like, are you sure that that's gonna be okay in the long run? Is it gonna, go bad and make a really terrible smell? I don't know what was up with me last night, but yes.
I wouldn't put it past me to make terrible smells. Come on.
Well, but I also wouldn't peg you for one to make anything using bone broth.
Yeah.
Since you're a vegetarian.
That's totally fair.
It is. Hi, Megan. It's absolutely eggnog. Yes, it is. Because 'tis the season. I'm only allowed to drink eggnog the 2 weeks before Christmas, because otherwise I will blow up twice my size with all of the calories in this yummy, delicious beverage. But I do love me some eggnog. And I actually grew up drinking eggnog without alcohol. And I remember in college, I will get to making these earrings at some point. In college, we were planning a Christmas party, and I was a freshman or a sophomore at that point, so I know I was not of legal drinking age, and half the rest of the people in the class we were talking about weren't either. But we were all deciding what we were going to bring for the party, and I said, I'll bring eggnog, and the professor's like, well, that's a really good idea, but I don't think that's appropriate for a school party, especially since a lot of you are underage. And I was like, well, it doesn't have to have alcohol in it. And she looks at me and she goes, well, then what's the point? Well, okay then.
Yeah, well,
I've since, though I did learn the secret from Alton Brown, is you really do need to, because Heather, you should taste this and taste how smooth it is now. You really need to put the alcohol in the eggnog and let it like mellow for at least a couple of days to a week before you drink it, because when you just spike it, it's really, really, like, you can really taste the alcohol, and like if you give it some time, it just has a much mellower, more awesome flavor. Anyway, that whole tangent was brought about by this Sharpie, by the way. So if anybody is wondering how weird we're going to be tonight, it's going to be pretty weird. I did warn you all. It's only going to get weirder as we get closer to the holidays. So I'm going to take this wire that I bent at 90 degrees, and I'm going to measure down 1/4 of an inch on either side, and I am going to go ahead and mark that. So there's that, and then I'm going to take my chain nose pliers and at each of these marks, and note that I am grabbing next to the mark so that when I bend, my bend is actually at the mark. So I'm going to bend in.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to lick this glass somehow.
There's more over here. Save me from myself. And then again, we're going to bend, and at this point, the wires are probably going to be crossing, and that's okay. And you can, at this point, you can also adjust the angle of this peak. I like mine to be a little bit more acute. So there we go. So what I have now is this kind of diamond-y shaped bit. And I'm sorry, apparently I just got my hands all dirty today. I scraped myself, apparently. I got dirt there. I wound up with ink on my nail. Like, I swear to God, it was just a regular work day, and yet I look like some kind of, you know, cartoon character with really dirty hands. Sharpie the marker of your dreams. At this point, I don't even remember what that particular dream was about, but I do remember that it specifically featured this Sharpie, because this is the only one we have in the store that's the Industrial Super Permanent Sharpie. I don't even know. My brain is not always normal. My brain is not ever normal.
I don't associate with any normal brains anyway, so.
Well, that's good. So, see? At least Heather likes me.
It's true.
Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to shape this because we don't necessarily want these crossed. Ooh, Megan says she hopes your visit south went well.
Oh, yes.
It did.
So good.
What did you eat? I never got a report of like what Jeff cooked you.
Jeff didn't cook me much except for the apple fritters the first night.
Oh, Jeff didn't cook me much except for the homemade apple fritters. Really?
Sorry.
So anyway, back to the tutorial. Now we're going to straighten these out so that they don't cross. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold right here by this bend that I made. Debating where I want to hold. Alright, we're going to try holding up here. We're going to see how it goes. I'm going to separate these a bit so I have room. And then I'm just going to take my thumb. So when I'm trying to curve a piece of wire, one of the easiest ways to do it is to put my thumb on the bottom of the wire, my index finger on the top, and then just kind of peel it that way. Of course, you have to have a firm grip on your pliers, which I didn't have then, but just kind of push with your bottom thumb and see how that took it and gave it a curve in the direction that I was pushing upwards with my thumb. Hee hee. Abby, normal brains are the best. It's true. We had a Siamese cat when I was young named Abby Normal. She was a very pretty cat. She was also a little bit insane, so it, you know, it worked out well. The naming, we didn't know she was a little bit insane when we named her that. It didn't show up until later in her life. Well, but okay. So
every Siamese I've met is at least a little bit insane.
It's true. They kind of come that way.
They're wonderful, but
oh my gosh! So who's seen the thread that was on Twitter that's of course now gone viral about the woman who
Sharon and her pie?
Oh no, not oh dear. Thank you, ASO. I'm so terrible. I'm so terrible at all of the communication streams. Thank you, ASO, for reminding me to check my messages on Discord. Also, when Corvus is on the stream, because I don't think she saw my Discord post, I have to take issue with her about the fact that somebody is making missiles for toads, and I think she put them up to it. But okay, so yeah, so actually
the missile toads.
The missile toads. Oh, Heather.
She posted it in Discord earlier. While you were gone.
Huh?
She didn't post the same thing.
Got it.
But something about missile toads, which is why there's another meme about missile toads going around, which is why that person was making
missile
toads.
Got it. I still think there's a conspiracy against me to arm the toads, but anyway.
Agreed.
So yeah, things that you should check out if you haven't are Sharon and her pie, and also the thread about Jeans and Jorts, the
gosh.
two cats, and the woman who offended her coworker by perpetuating racist stereotypes by saying that orange cats tend to be stupid. I believe her coworker sent an email to HR about this. Also,
there was a whole thing.
Yeah, also very funny. I'm just gonna go with boy cats tend to be stupid. That's just me.
There's a Facebook group called All Orange Cats Sell or Share One Brain Cell.
But yeah, so those are the two viral things that have been grabbing my attention. Sharon and her pie is pretty hilarious. Okay.
It's true.
All right, so we have made our little gabled shape, and obviously I did a terrible job of finding the center of this wire. I'm not going to rebend all this wire. What I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to snip this off, bink, bink, so that it's the same length. Now, before I forget what I did, I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to do the same thing on my other longer 4-inch piece of 16 gauge wire. So that means I'm going to find the middle. Obviously, in the case of my last piece, it was approximately the middle. And I'm going to grab that with my chain nose pliers, and I'm going to bend that at approximately 90 degrees. Then I'm going to measure down 1/4 inch on either side. What in the world did I actually do to my hands today? Because they're really in bad shape.
Well,
measure down 1/4 inch and mark. Anybody exciting?
No.
Okay.
No, I think it must be because you were clenching your hands so hard not to punch any of the customers.
Oh, because there was so much almost customer punching. Also, I need to call Mr. B back tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
Because I never called him. Okay, so now we're going to grab next to the mark and push. Grab. Push. Adjust this. I think we should hire ASO to answer our phone from now on.
Agreed.
All right, and then I'm gonna do that same thing that I did before. I'm just gonna curve that. And that. And I did an equally crappy job of finding the center on this piece, so we're going to go ahead and trim that off as well. And since we're making earrings, we want these to be the same. The good news is that they pretty much are. Just have to trim a little bit. I'm sorry, Matt is not allowed to be 29. I veto this.
No.
Tell him to backtrack a couple of years. Preferably to like 22 or something. That's a little bit more comfortable.
Somebody's math is off. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Amy, I think you just forgot what year you gave birth to him, and he's absolutely only 22.
Yeah.
Just saying. All right, so now I've got my... yeah.
We only think it here. We don't actually say it out loud.
We're, customer service, blah, blah, blah. Seriously, the closer it gets to Christmas, the more my brain goes to that particular thought pattern. Okay, so now we're going to just make our spirals on either side. That means I'm going to take my round nose pliers, grab at the end of my wire, and roll it up, and then continue to roll in an open spiral. So I'm just not pressing too hard, so I get this kind of open spiral look until this is as long or as short as I want. No, Heidi is also not 27. Amy, I'm telling you, you're having some kind of delusions about your children and their ages.
Yes, that's all that this could be.
Push it together, and there you have your pretty little gabled top shape. We're going to repeat for our other one. Grab it and roll. Roll. Again.
Just made me have a fever.
Again, these are earrings, so we do want them to be somewhat the same, which they are. Hooray. Hey, Lori and Amy's kiddos are the same age. That's an interesting coincidence.
That is.
Either that or they're both equally delusional. I have less of an emotional attachment to the age of Lori's kiddos just because I didn't know them when they were like shorter than me. Okay, well, to be fair, Matt and Heidi were never shorter than me, but that's just because I'm short. But Laith definitely was shorter than me for a good span of time there. Okay, those are our 2 top pieces. Now we're going to go for our 2 bottom pieces. So those again were made with our 2 4-inch pieces of our 16 gauge wire. These are my 2. Well, thank you, Megan. Well, we look at Little Woman who's going to serve myself some more eggnog now. So, I don't know. I may be changing the height to width ratio as we speak. There are so many clients' kids who I taught like in summer camps and things who are now like miles taller than me. It's really kind of scary. Okay, so for our second piece, Amy! Alright, Amy's fired from the stream.
What did she do?
She said facts. That the prom where Heidi borrowed my opal earrings was in 2013. Of course, you know.
But that was last year.
That was totally last year.
Why did Heidi take so long in high school? I'm so confused.
So, 3-inch pieces of wire. Again, find the middle. Grab it with your round nose pliers. This time grab at the fat part of your pliers, and we're just going to bend these over to make a teardrop. And you want to try and keep these wires even if possible, which means you may have to bend a little bit of one, a little bit of the other, a little bit more of the other. Alright, like so. So it looks kind of like a flying seagull. Seagulls? Stop it now.
Yes.
I'm going to do the same with my other one. So this one's a little bit easier to kind of judge and keep it even. You just sort of have to pay attention. Smee, we miss you. Are you feeling better? And if so, when you be so. And then this one, I'm going to go ahead and make the spirals so that they are going down towards this center bit. And that's just because when you're making an earring like this, it's nice if you've got, you know, the spirals that are kind of opposing when you wrap them together, like so. Also, light is a good thing. There we go. Amy was wanting to be here tonight, but then she got stuck making a cake for her fake 29-year-old child. So, grab at the end.
You gotta keep the non-29-year-olds happy.
Roll it. And then again, continue rolling in this open spiral. So, when you're doing an open spiral, I feel like the key to that is try not to over manipulate your wire. So your wire has a natural tendency to curve. So as long as you're starting with a nice straight piece of wire, grab at the end, roll it over. That's your starter. Now grab, and what I'm doing is I'm doing a combination of twisting my pliers and pushing my wire to make my open spiral like so. If you try and push and manipulate your wire too much, you're going to get weird shapes. Alright, we're going to repeat with our other piece. So just grab, rotate your starter, and then rotate that around like so. I promise Heather's only dying a little bit over there.
It's very full of allergies out there, and it's windy.
It is, oh my god, anybody who's not here in Dallas, like, it is dumb windy in Dallas today, like,
yeah.
Like, don't fly a kite because you might get, you know, taken off to Narnia or something. Like, it was insane today. So of course all of the allergens in the world, I think, are blowing around in Dallas, which is, it's just unfortunate. So what I do want to do is I want to just bring these up a bit. So I'm just going to pinch them together. That's going to make this loop a little bit bigger. And it's going to just make the shape of our earring a little bit more graceful. Now I, however, am not coughing because of allergies. I'm coughing because dairy makes me phlegmy, and I am drinking copious amounts of eggnog because I just don't care, because eggnog is just that good. I really think they put crack in it. Well, at least Canada froze all the allergies. Texas did not do that.
No.
Texas just...
We didn't even succeed in freezing the mosquitoes.
No. Though we did get frosty enough the other night that I lost some of my plants, which is unfortunate because I was not expecting it to get... It got to like 30... It was supposed to get to 33. I think it dipped down to like 32, and some of my plants were displeased with this to the point where they died. And so now I have more yard cleanup to do. Yep, he did. They did. Oh well. Too late now. So, now I'm going to take my bench block and my hammer and I'm going to hammer these. You don't have to hammer them. Hammering does two things. Number one, it makes them look, I think, a little bit cooler and more refined, but number two, it also hardens them and stiffens them in place. So it's going to get a little loud here for a minute. So if you need to mute me is what I meant. Please feel free to do so. So I'm just going to hammer this whole thing flat, and I'm going to try my best not to hit my fingers. Everyone pray for me. Also, y'all get to see my hammering face. I didn't see the Adele. So Donna wants to know, during the Adele One Night Only TV special, did anyone notice her earrings? I didn't see it. Did she have awesome earrings on? Because that would be fantastic. You only need to hammer one side. That was a question. Do you hammer both sides? You only need to hammer one side because the block basically hammers the other side for you. And on these pieces, you want to be sure not to hammer this point where the two wires cross. And again, don't hammer your finger. Alright, one more to go. See if I can do it without bashing myself. So, Donna, what did her earrings look like? Because now I am curious. So why not hammer the crossing point? Because if you hammer the crossing point, what you'll basically do is you're going to thin out either one or both of these wires to the point where they're really likely to break. What winds up happening usually is you get something that looks like the joint in a set of Lincoln logs, and the problem is whichever one of those wires has a thinner part on it tends to be really, really fragile. Okay, so now we're going to grab some 26 gauge wire to put these earrings together. So I'm going to take my 26 gauge wire and I'm going to cut myself a solid piece of it. I'm going to cut probably about 3 feet. Now, you may not be comfortable working with that amount of length, which is totally fine. I would not be surprised even a little bit if I hit myself in the face with it at some point during the remains of this broadcast. So if you want to work off of a smaller piece, please feel free to do so. Working off of a longer piece decreases your waste, which is why I will do it that way sometimes, but it's all about what's comfortable for you. So now we're going to put these together and we're going to add the bead in the middle. So this joint and this joint and adding this bead all happen in essentially one step. So I'm going to take my earrings and I'm going to hold them in the position that I want them to be, like so, and then I'm going to hold my wire crossways across my frame. Make sure you give yourself plenty of wire to pinch. Okay, do yourself a huge favor. Don't do this to yourself, okay? Like, give yourself plenty of wire to hang on to, and then we're just going to wrap around this joint here. And we want to try a couple of things. Number one, we want to try not to overlap your wires, which I did not do a good job of. So we're going to loosen that up just a hair. Maybe. There we go. So just try and hold the wires next to each other when you're wrapping, and don't get too crazy with the tension there. Alright, so we've got that, and then we're going to go ahead and grab our bead. Ooh, that sounds awesome, Donna. I'm going to have to Google that when I'm done with my streaming. So apparently for her TV special, Adele wore earrings that look like the planet Saturn, a diamond-studded globe with a gold ring surrounding the globe. That sounds amazing. I love things that have planets or planetary themes. Okay, so now I'm going to take my bead. I put it on my 26 gauge wire. I'm just going to hold that across that center opening of my earring, and then I'm going to wrap this side together. This little tail, make sure you keep that out of the way, and you're just going to attach that and this, and once again, well, we don't want to do that. We want to make sure we actually catch all of the pieces, and we want to try not to overlap these two pieces too much. 3 or 4 times around is sufficient. You don't have to wrap these an inordinate amount in order to get them to stay, because they're really not holding a lot of weight. So there is that, and then we can go ahead and grab our cutter, cut off our tails. So I'm going to trim off this starter tail as close as possible to our frame. We're going to do the same with that other tail, and then I'm going to grab myself a chain nose pliers and press those ends down. Of course, what we want is to make sure that nothing is pokey, pointy, stabby, scratchy, etc. Ta-da! Oh, yay! Cool. So now there's a pic of Adele's earrings in Discord. So if anybody is not a member of our Discord and you want to join, Heather did just post the Discord link to the Twitch chat, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy that and repost it for the cross-platform folks. Okay, apparently right-click is just not a thing in this chatbot that I use. Okay, so I just reposted that, so that should be across all of the everything now. So if you're not a part of our Discord, different thing, we definitely do invite you to join. It's not the kind of Discord that is going to, yay, Megan's on Discord now. It's not the Discord that's going to blow up your phone every minute of every day, but there's definitely fun. There's definitely fun stuff on there, including apparently mistletoes. I'll have to check that in between streams so that I can address this issue with Corvus.
Yes.
Alright, so now we're going to do the same thing, put the earring together. Of course, the second one, because 2 earrings, they usually come in pairs. Not pints, but pairs. So we're going to hold that together, hold our wire across, wrap these 2 together. Also, I'm totally on the sales stream going to show everyone the ridiculous thing that I did for my dear friend Joanne, because everybody, bye Lori, we'll see you later, everybody deserves to experience the level of cheesiness of this thing that I did for her. It's very funny.
Yes.
Okay, so now I put my bead on. The bead's gonna sit and kind of cover this center gap, and then we're going to wrap around like so, and again 3-4 times is sufficient. You have to kind of sort everything out after you do that. Like, it's, if you just do it, it's gonna be wonky, so just, you know, put it in place and then it'll usually stay there. Go ahead and trim off your tails. So we're gonna trim, and then make sure you just press down your ends so that you don't have any pokey stabbies. And also, if you want to, you can kind of crimp those wraps. That's gonna make your earrings a little more stable. Just make sure you don't crimp your bead when you're crimping those wraps. Also, that end obviously needs to be tucked in because, hello. Alright, there we go. There's that. And then I'm going to do the crimping thing on this one as well. Okay, so those are our 2 earrings. Now, if you want to, so you got basically 3 choices now on how you want to configure these earrings, because the last thing we're going to do is we're going to put the drops on them. So you can hang the drops from this receptacle here. You can hang the drops from this receptacle here, or you can be brain dead like I was when I made the sample, and you can hang one from here and one from here. It's only brain dead, by the way, if you do it by accident. If you do it intentionally, then it's an artistic choice. Just to be clear that I'm not really trying to call anybody brain dead except for myself. So I'm kind of feeling this configuration tonight. So I'm going to drop my bead from the long section. I'm going to put my ear wire on the top of the short section. So my beads that I'm going to drop are these beautiful helix cut. There was all the letters, but not all the letters. Labradorites. So I'm going to take the rest of my 26 gauge wire. So I started with about a 3-foot piece. And I've got, yay! Thank you all for joining Discord. Y'all are the best. And you know, the more people we have on there, the more crazy stuff is going to go on. So it's only going to get more fun. Also, if anybody has suggestions for additional channels on the Discord, please feel free to put that out there. So I started with 3 feet of 26 gauge wire. I still have about a foot left. I'm going to use that to do a basic top drilled wire wrap on my teardrop. So I'm going to take my wire, I'm going to put it through my teardrop. So top drilled for me means that the hole goes through the top of the teardrop. There's a significant number of people who call this side drilled. Either one is correct. It's, you know, whatever makes sense to you, but here on the Beading Dream stream, when I say top drilled, this is what I mean. So I'm going to place my wire through the hole of the drop so that I have a short side and a long side. So I've got about a 1-inch amount here, and then I've got the entire rest of my wire on the other side. I'm going to go ahead and take that wire. I'm going to bend it up against the hole in my bead so that I make a triangle. Okay, and I want the point of that triangle to be directly above the point of the bead. Now I'm going to take my chain nose pliers and I'm going to grab the long wire. Okay, so I've got the short wire and the long wire. I'm grabbing the long wire directly above the point where those two wires cross, and I'm just going to bend it up a bit. So now what I've done is I've taken this long wire and I've centered it above the central axis of my bead. Now I'm going to take the short wire, wrap it around the long wire 1.5 times, and I will do that just using my fingers. Apparently Heather's throwing things that I can't see because she's back there. Once you've gone around 1.5 times, go ahead and trim and press your end down. And now you've created bead on a stick. What you've created is you've essentially created a head pin with a teardrop at the end. Now we're going to go ahead and make a basic wire wrap loop so that we can hang that on our earring. I'm going to take our round nose pliers and hold them so that they are touching the top of our bead. We're going to push our wire away from us over our pliers to make a 90-degree angle. We're going to loosen our pliers, rotate them 1/8 of a turn, and grab again right on that corner we just made. We're going to pull that wire back up over the top towards us and down, so that we're starting to make a loop around our pliers. The problem here is I can't finish my loop because this side of my pliers is in the way, so I'm just going to rotate that out of the way, and then I'm going to finish that loop by pushing my wire underneath my pliers and away from me. And the goal here is to create basically a 90-degree angle right here where my fingernail is, so right between the long wire and kind of this neck that's going down to the bead. Now I'm going to take my earring and I'm going to thread that wire into my earring piece. I'm going to feed that all the way in until that loop is completely around the wire of my earring. And I'm going to take my chain nose pliers, I'm going to hold across my loop like so. Now the important thing here is that I'm holding across the wire loop that I just made. If you wind up holding your earring component at the same time, that's also fine. Then I'm going to wrap starting at the base of that loop, rotating around until I reach the end of the wire that's already there. This is hilarious because I'm not even bumping my camera with my hands. It's my butt that's bumping the stool to which my camera is attached. Okay, then I'm going to trim my end off, and ideally if you did this right, when you press it down, it should just butt right up against the end that's already there, and you should have a fairly seamless wrap. Okay, so that is earring numero uno. We're going to do this one more time for earring numero dos. That means the wire goes through the teardrop, like so, and then we're going to bend up against the hole in the bead to make a triangle. Make sure the point of that triangle is above the point of the bead. Look how pretty that labradorite is. Look how winky it is. It says, "Hi everybody." And then we're going to bend that wire up so that it is centered above the central axis of the bead. Now we're going to wrap the short wire around the long wire 1.5 times, and then you can trim that end off and press down the pokey stabby bit like so. And now we're going to make a basic wire wrap loop. So again, hold your round nose pliers so that they are touching the top of your bead. We're going to go away.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'll rotate back up over the top, rotate underneath. I have a sweater in my car when I go and get it. There's your lady with the scarf. Grab your earring, thread your wire into your earring. You really should drink the rest of this and save me from myself. Just saying.
Okay. But we have 2 ginger beer.
Oh, yay. That's awesome. Alright, put that on there. Hey, nice earrings, by the way.
Hey!
You should show them to the stream
later.
I
will.
Hold across your loop and wrap. trim. And again, if you did this right, when you press down, that's not the right pliers. When you press down with your chain nose, you should have a fairly seamless wire wrap where you can't really tell where the end is, except for the fact that you can get down there. There we go. Yeah, so you should have a fairly seamless wire wrap where you really can't tell where the end is. And those are your earring components. Now, if you wanted to be extra fancy, you could definitely hang something else from here and here. However, if you're gonna do that, what you would want to do is you would want to take these and you would want to take these ends over and or down so that this was a closed loop, because if you hang something on this in the state that it's currently in, it's gonna just fall off. But at this point, I am done with the hanging of the things, and all I need to do to make these a functional pair of earrings is add my ear wires. Of course, these are regular ear wires. That means they've got a simple loop. All you gotta do is twist that loop open like so. Drop your earring component on it. Of course, make sure that the front of the earring component is facing the front of the ear wire, and then close up that loop like so. And there is earring number 1. And then we've got, again, twist open. So when you're opening an ear wire or any kind of loop, don't open it out flat. I don't know what is going on with my like color balance. Like my fingers definitely look like I have jaundice.
Do you not?
I do not have jaundice, not as far as I can tell.
I can't tell.
Okay. So no, my camera thinks I do though.
Well,
because my fingernails definitely look really yellow. Anyway, sorry, that was neither here nor there. Let's finish this earring. But what precipitated that is my fingernail was right there on camera. Don't open out your ear wire loop. You want to twist it, that way you're maintaining. Wow,
really?
That's not allowed. Yep, you're maintaining that circular shape. We're going to drop that on, and then we're going to grab and close that up. And there we go. All right, so there we go. That is our wire filigree earrings. Turned out pretty good. Yay! It's like my hand doesn't rotate the right way to show those to the camera. There you go. So thank you all so much for hanging out with us for our wire filigree earrings tutorial. Hope everyone had a good time with us this evening. So I'm Allison from Beading Dreams in Dallas, Texas. We are an actual brick and mortar retail bead shop. For anybody who didn't know that, we're here on Lovers Lane in Dallas, Texas. If you live in Dallas or you're visiting in Dallas, please come visit us. We are here currently Monday through Saturday from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. If you're not local in Dallas, you can find us on this channel, twitch.tv/beadingdream. 5 times a week with complimentary tutorials. We're here Wednesday through Saturday at 6 p.m. Central Time, plus Thursdays at noon with complimentary tutorials. That means we will be back on this channel, twitch.tv/beadingdream. Tomorrow at noon, we're going to be doing a back to basics stringing class for you. Tomorrow at 12 p.m. for anybody who has beads and needs to knock together some Christmas presents very quickly. Also next week are 2 tutorials. I haven't decided what exactly they're going to be yet, but they're both going to be last minute Christmas gift tutorials. So, wow, gotta quit that. We also do live merchandise sales every Wednesday and every Saturday at 7:30 or 7:45-ish p.m. It's definitely going to be 7:45 tonight since it's 7:18 and I'm just now finishing the tutorial stream. So if you are not going to catch us for the sale, thank you so much for hanging with us for the tutorial. We'll look forward to seeing you hopefully for tomorrow's noon tutorial, or of course 6 p.m. is Torch Thursday, where I'm going to be making a ring. If you are going to come to the sale, we will look forward to seeing you in just about 30 minutes. Make sure you grab a cocktail, grab some hydration, maybe grab a snack, get comfy, get cozy, and get ready for some retail therapy in the comfort of your living room, office, or wherever you happen to watch the Beading Dream stream. So it's time for me to go figure out what I'm going to be selling and see y'all back on this channel, twitch.tv/beadingdream in half an hour. Bye, y'all.